From analog.
Hi, Jim. You've a great signal up here. You're 5.9 plus.
You're digital.
We are everywhere you want to be. This is the CQ Blind Hams Podcast.
Welcome to CQ Blind Hams Podcast and YouTube channel. I'm Joel, W0CAS, and today we're going to do a review of the Talkpod A36 Plus GMRS. I'd like to tell you right up front that Talkpod contacted us wanting us to do a review of the Talkpod A36 Plus and wanted us to give an honest review, and this is what my honest opinion of this radio is. First, I'm going to give you a few things that I like about the radio. First thing, it has USB-C charging of the battery. And that's right in the bottom of the battery, not just on the radio itself. So you can actually charge a battery by itself without putting it in a charging cradle. 2, it has airband receive. I have tested it. It's not bad. It's not a $500 radio, but you know, for the price, it's not bad. It does. You can you understand and receive airband traffic. 3, it's got a good clear speaker. Actually, I've tested it against the Quancheng UV-K5, and I like the speaker a little better. It's a little clearer, has a little bit fuller audio quality. 4, you know, as I spoke before, it's 2 ways to charge it. One is with USB-C, plus it comes with a charging cradle. By the way, in the box, it has a wall wart with a USB-C cable, so you don't have to run out and find a wall wart to be able to charge your radio. 5, it's got a good FM radio. I listened to the NASCAR race on our local broadcast station, and it has a very good FM receiver. 6, it has NOAA weather frequencies. You turn those on in the CPS, and you can set a side button, a side key. It's got 2 programmable side keys. I'll go over the radio here in just a minute. But with the programmable side keys, I programmed one of them to turn on the NOAA weather radio function. 7, it has some voice prompts. And when I mean some, it has probably about the same number of voice prompts as the Baofeng UV5Rs and the Quancheng UV-K5s. 8, number 8 on my list of things I like about the radio is it has good battery life. I brought it right out of the box, turned it on, and listened to it and played around with it for a few hours on a Saturday. Sunday, like I told you, I listened to 3 hours of the NASCAR race on it. And Monday, I talked on the radio once I programmed it. Haven't charged it yet. So I got about 3 days, and I think I was talking on it late on Monday, and it finally gave me a low voltage notification via audio. Yeah, I mentioned 9 earlier when it has two ways to charge it. It comes with a USB audio. USB-C audio cable and the wall wart. So now we're going to get over to the negatives. And number 1 is one of the things about the reason I wanted to review it is because of the voice prompts. And like I said, it has some voice prompts. I'm going to let you hear some of the voice prompts now. Okay, this is a little bit of what the Talkpod A36 Plus sounds like from turning it on.
Channel mode.
Okay, a little demonstration of the voice prompts. So the first button
Menu
is the menu button. Then the button all the way to the right is the cancel button.
3.
There's channel 3. The channel numbers are,
2.
let's go up.
1.
One on the right goes down arrow.
52.
It's got 52 channels programmed from the factory.
2.
Those are GMRS channels. I just overwrote
3.
3 channels just to give it a test. Like I said before, you get the menu button. Now, if you want to go to VFO mode, you have to hold the menu button down. I don't think it said that anywhere in the manual.
Frequency mode.
Go over to frequency mode. Then you can just program your frequency in. Let's go with the airband frequency real quick.
1, 1, 8, 8, 0, 0.
There's the airband frequency. I bet you we're not going to hear any traffic right now because I'm recording. Of course not. But just want to give the FM radio a little test. You hit the the pound key.
On.
Takes the FM radio. The up arrow. You hit the up arrow, and you go through the frequencies with the up arrow and the down arrow. Shut that off because I don't want to get in trouble with the FCC. Like I said earlier, the programming, the side keys, I programmed the NOAA weather radio on my top side key, programmable side key. And then you go through the different ones, I guess, with the arrow key. Thought I'd get the one where we pick our frequency, but guess not. So off on that. And like I said earlier, the bottom side key, nothing. And it's set to a power level, but I don't know what power level I'm on. So we're going to go back over to menus. Channel mode, I mean. And you hit menu. And let's see what menu number 1 is. So you hit number 1, hit menu again.
Power.
That's power. Well, let's change the power. I don't know what that is, because it just beeps. I'm sorry. So I guess you got to memorize all the secondary menu levels.
Confirm.
I just confirmed something, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. Top button. That's what you get for the top button.
7.
It does speak the different
Menu.
Hit the cancel button. But that's it. That's the A36 Plus GMRS by Talkpod. Number 2 on the dislikes. Not all of the menus speak. It will give you some menus, but it won't speak all of them. 3, and this is a very petty reason, a negative, but to release the battery, once you put the belt clip on it, it has two little things sticking out on the back of the battery, and you have to pull down on them, and they're very sharp. And to do it, got to pull down pretty hard, and then the battery folds out. You know, they put the bottom of the battery in, and then it snaps in place. To get it out, you have to release those 2 catches. And like I said, they're a little bit sharp, but they probably have to be because you have to pull on it pretty good bit. 4, we're going into some of the same complaints a lot of the YouTubers have. The manual is not written very well, and it doesn't give you all the any of the CTCSSs. It doesn't tell you what they are or anything like that. So it just tells you some of the basic functions of the radio. And 5 also has to do with the manuals. Of the menus on the radio do not match the manuals. So for instance, menu 51, and the manual, it says Bluetooth on and off. Well, I'm not sure there is Bluetooth in this radio. I've not heard anywhere. But on the radio, the menu says ANI code for 51. So those 2 don't match. That's the 2 that I've found off the top of my head. And 6, there's a squelch tail on receive of a transmission and on transmit. Once you transmit and you let off the PTT, you hear this. And I cannot figure out how to get that off. I have set the CTCSS on transmit and receive from my All-Star node, and I cannot get that squelch tail off to save my life. Same problem with the Quanchen UV-K5. There's a few things that could be improved about the radio. And it's got to do with the voice prompts again. The A/B, to put it in the A side and the B side, it's a dual receive, and you press that button, it does not speak. 2, and this goes back to the voice prompts, the second levels of the menus do not speak. Of course, it doesn't speak all menus for one, and the ones that it does speak, you hit the menu button, and then the menu number, and then menu again, and it'll speak the name of the menu. Well, the second level of the menu, the settings, say power level or whatever you want to set, it doesn't speak any of those. Then when you hit the menu again, it'll save the choice, but you don't know what choice you made as a blind op. And the 3, the cancel button, there's a cancel button or back button. So you got the menu button, and then the cancel button is to the right of the top of the keypad, and that doesn't speak, it just beeps. So that's another no-go for blind ops. Yeah, for the manuals, the settings in the manuals should match the radio, so that's a no-brainer. A Talkpod should work on their manuals, and before the radio is actually could be recommended, you have to have a good manual. Yeah, the SK button, the one on the side will say on for the radio. That's for the FM radio. But and that's labeled SK2. I'm assuming SK1 is your PTT button. But the SK2 button does speak on and off. But the SK3, the bottom side programmable key, does not speak. And that's about all of the right off the top of my head. Another plus I like about the radio, as I didn't mention earlier, it's very lightweight. You know, the battery weighs hardly anything. It's a 1500 milliamp hour battery, and like I said, you just pop it in. Another thing is about the battery is you can also order a 3200 milliamp hour extra life battery. And I ordered one, but it hasn't come from Amazon yet. So as I wanted to describe the radio, it's got a button on the top that I haven't figured out what all it does. It supposedly does an alarm, but I think it transmits some kind of code, and you have to have another one of the radios to be able to receive that code. So that's the top button. It's got the antenna on the left. It's got the volume on and off on the right. And it's got the normal keypad like a Baofeng. It's got the menu, the up arrow, the down arrow, the cancel or back button. And then it's got your 1, 2, 3, star, 4, 5, 6, 0, 7, 8, 9, and the pound key. And that's all the buttons on the front of the radio. And like I said before, it's got the PTT, it's got the SK1 or SK2, side key 2, and side key 3. And that's pretty much it. The belt clip does mount to the battery. Has a quick release, so you can release it from that battery. It's got a little tab in there you pull, and it releases it, and you pop it off and put it on the next battery when you get ready. Other than that, that is the Talkpod A36 Plus GMRS. It comes programmed with GMRS frequencies out of the box and with the Chirp software, and you can reprogram it to operate in the ham amateur radio bands. That's about it. And the review of this Talkpod radio, for a blind operator, it's usable. It's not as expensive as a TYT MD UV380. It's about half that price. It runs anywhere from $45 to $59, depending on what deal you get on Amazon. And I'll have a link to the Amazon page where you can purchase one. And thanks Talkpod for letting me do a review. I would recommend it if you are looking for an inexpensive radio that is usable for a blind amateur radio operator. But there are more radios available that has more accessibility. It's just you'll have to upgrade the firmware where this radio comes out of the box usable. And that's it. Thanks for visiting CQ Blind Ham.